Hello, I'm David, and in this video from SmartStyle Training we're going to take a look at working with shapes. I'll be using PowerPoint, but many of these techniques can be used in any of the Microsoft Office applications. Shapes can be inserted in different ways, but the Insert Ribbon tab is used in most applications. You may already know that shapes can be drawn by clicking and dragging with the mouse. But did you know that if you hold down the Shift key while drawing a shape, then it is drawn perfectly in proportion, in this case perfectly square. Or I could even use the Oval tool to draw a perfectly round circle. When we want to make sure that shapes are in the correct position, we can click and drag to move them. And here, if I move the square up, I can use the on-screen guides to make sure that the top of the square and the circle are perfectly lined up. If you need to line up multiple shapes, you can use the Control key to select each of the shapes that are required, and then from the Drawing Tools Format tab we can choose Align. Here, clicking Align Top, then I know each of the shapes is perfectly positioned at the top edge. With the next slide, I have several shapes with arrows pointing between them. If I was to use the content placeholder to insert a picture, for example, then I would need to rearrange the shapes. But now, each time I move a shape, I would also need to move the arrows to match position. However, let's undo this for now. Instead, I can adjust the arrows so that the beginning and end of each line is attached to the connection points of a shape. Doing this in turn means that each shape stays connected even if we move and rearrange the order of the objects. I can spin the shapes round and even change the connection position if needed. On this next slide, we select all the shapes. We can see there are many shapes that have been combined together to create the desired picture of steps. If I try to resize a shape from its handle, what we find is that each shape is sized separately, which is less than ideal. Let's undo. However, if we select the multiple shapes, it is possible to use the Drawing Tools Format tab again to create a group of objects. Now the shapes are handled as one separate object, so if we resize, all the shapes that make up that larger component are resized together. Much better. Of course, we can solve some of these issues if we make use of SmartArt graphics. We can use the icon on the slide. We can choose the required type and subtype that we want to create a SmartArt object. Then if we add text for step 1, step 2 and step 3, it becomes much easier for us to resize or even to add additional shapes. There's no need to worry about connections or grouping the objects when we're working with the SmartArt object. That's it for now. I hope this will help. Remember to check out our other videos and to subscribe to our channel for more great tips with Office programs.